Introduce our speaker for this morning. Reverend Dr. Phil Delong is an ordained minister, spiritual counselor, healer, and teacher with the International Association of Metaphysics and the SCSEMA. He received his Doctor of Ministry through the Lively Stones World Healing Fellowship. He is a member, here it is, certified medium, healer, and teacher also here at the Cassadaga Spiritualist Camp, and is a member of the Temple Heights Spiritual Camp in Northport, Maine. Please join me in a warm welcome for Reverend Dr. Phil Delong.
Okay, well, thanks for the introduction, Jamie, and thank you for my fan club out there. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about today is respect. So respect is one of the greatest expressions of love. And it has to do a lot with our spiritual principle number 6, which is the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. All right, now everybody remembers like Aretha Franklin, respect, right? RESPECT. All right, so we're going to look at that like the little acronyms of respect. So we look at R. And what does R mean? Responsibility. Right? Another one of our principles, number 7. You know, I accept the responsibility to find my own happiness or unhappiness by following nature's physical and spiritual laws. All right, now, who wants to be unhappy? I usually get a no on that one. Right, let's be happy. So, responsibility then starts with ourselves. And we have to take responsibility of what we say and feel, right? Without resorting to blame, right? There's a lot of blame that goes around. So we have to express ourselves by using a lot of I statements, such as I think, I feel, I believe, I am. And by doing that, we acknowledge our own experiences and we respect ourselves, our own thoughts, and our own feelings. And we're going to have to avoid the blame game. All right? It's not my fault. You know, somebody else did it. All right? Because if we blame somebody else for our failures, then it can lead to us being defensive. All right? And when we're looking at our own happiness, then we're going to have to be on the positive side of things. So a person becomes responsible when they identify their needs and their duties and accomplish them one by one, and not thinking of themselves compared to others. So it's kind of like a big statement there. We're going to have to accomplish things one by one. Right? Some people are good at multitasking, right? And it's like, okay, we're going to have to accomplish one thing at a time and then make things happen. If we overload ourselves, that can lead to a couple problems down the road. And one of the things is comparing ourselves to others. Right? Now we're a being of light, and we share that light with infinite intelligence and the whole world. It's like when I was coming up through mediumship classes in Cassadaga here, we'd go to Grove service and we'd see the student would compare themselves to their teachers. Oh, I want to be like that. I want to be so good. And then we lose part of our responsibility comparing ourselves to others, because we should be sharing our light, right? I had a mentor who would say, we're going to give messages here. Well, like coming up to Wednesday night service here, and this, when I came out here the first times I did this, it's like the messages are going to be, all right? It's going to be loved one, health, wealth. All right? And stick to that plan. Nothing will go wrong. All right? So I tried it. Sorry, guys, it wasn't my style. So we all have to look at our own light. So comparing, in that case, can be a character fault, all right? Because we all want to do the best that we can do. Okay, so we go on to R and then E. And this is going to be empathy. And empathy is the ability to understand another person's emotion. And it's the ability to physically react in response to someone's experience. It's the ability of thinking about what the other person is thinking. All right, so when we get there, it's empathy to me is love and compassion. All right, we should all have empathy for people. All right, but we do need to stick our boundaries around there. When we're thinking about what they're thinking, we can only do so much. The true empath, without the boundaries, will get caught up into drama and trauma, right? And that's something that the love and compassion for people is important, but we don't need to get caught up in the drama. So, but another part of empathy is your listening skills. And listening goes beyond words that the people is telling you. It's a connection with that infinite intelligence as to how you can put a perspective with the person. And we're going to have to counsel them to be the person to have their light shine. All right? And with empathy, we can understand what they're going through, but we really don't know because we're not walking in their shoes. So another part of that empathy is observe, don't judge. All right, so when we get to the S, R-E-S, and this is self-discipline. All right, we're going to have to respect ourselves, and as you do that, you will respect others. You have to believe in your abilities and be humble, even if people don't recognize your accomplishments. Respect and recognize the diverse talents from about other people as well, as they are here to help you. And gratitude goes a long way with self-discipline. All right? Gratitude with affirmations, like the I affirmations, the first thing in the morning. But also gratitude for the other people in your lives who have helped you. Then we get to the P in respect, and that is patience. And I believe everybody's heard that patience is a virtue. And patience is the ability to complete a task without giving it up in the middle. All right? So with patience, we're going to have to develop a connection with infinite intelligence, with our guides, and that spiritual guidance as, all right, this is my task. All right? I'm on a mission from God. So John Belushi here. All right? So, all right, this is my task. How am I going to get through it? And there are many challenges in our lives. It goes like a little sine wave up and down like that. But the thing of it is, never give up. And that's something that, my father and grandfather taught me. If you fall down, get up. All right? So we do have those experiences, and those experiences teach us that. But look at the outcome. And we need to have respect and have patience for others, as well as, again, with the compassion. We don't know what they're going through. Sometimes I myself am guilty of, I have little patience for these fools. All right? Come on, do your job, right? But technically, I don't know what else is going on with the other person. It's just that judgment. All right? So we're going to have to observe, because in the respect of the other person, then I don't know what they're going through. I just want my stuff done and now. All right? So we have to have that patience for other people as well. Okay, the next E, so R-E-S-P-E, is what I call etiquette. So etiquette is the personal conduct of your behavior. And then again, this starts with yourself. So when we have that etiquette, we're going to have to regularly question ourselves and consider the underlying thoughts of, or the underlying reasons for our thoughts and feelings, and be willing to go through a transformation. All right? Sometimes our upbringing will give us some belief systems that as we grow out of the belief systems. And some of those are hard to change. And that's why the self-transformation along with the self-discipline is going to help us. But we're also going to have to take ownership of our own emotions and contribute to meaningful interactions with other people. So with that, following the golden rule, it's respect others as well. And we have to remember that they're going through their own changes as well and their own transformation. Forgiveness is key in this part, all right? Our personal conduct. It is when we forgive people, we release things from our heart, and our love is what will shine through on that one. One of the biggest things about forgiveness or unforgiveness would be holding on to resentment that doesn't serve you. And there's lots of examples on that. The most common one would be an inheritance. And if a sibling was the executor of the estate, they're going to say, well, I'm taking all the money. Tough luck. And I had this happen in my family. I had an uncle who, when my grandfather died, took all the money. But basically it was because on the front pages of the Flint Journal, then his son took a Corvette at the golf course nearby Flint, where Tiger Woods plays all the time. And in Grand Ledge. So he went joyriding with this Corvette and smashed it up, causing injuries to others. So my grandmother shortly died afterwards, so I'm pretty sure those were legal expenses where that money came from. But then when we look at my mother and her brother, siblings, then they're looking at it, well, a lot of resentment in there. Because at that time, they could have used whatever money was supposed to go their way. But if we hold on to the resentment, all right, it is going to cause what we would call a rift in the quantum physics in the universe. All right? So our thoughts are the most powerful tool that we have. And I have to go with a near-death experience when I had at 12, and up there was just love and peace. Because, I didn't go through a tunnel, it was just jumping up into the white light. And from there, you felt the prayers in the universe that were taking you back. All right? Now, I've listened to other near-death experiences where they're in the universe, and they also hear the prayers, but they also heard all the negative thoughts that were going out in the universe. The resentment, the unforgiveness, thoughts like that. And the problem with that is it was 90% of the thoughts were negative. All right? So we're going to have to work on our forgiveness and send out positive thoughts. So the next acronym would be the C, which is compassion. And compassion is the ability to understand the discomfort of others, taking action when somebody's going through it. So it's the ability to manage and act on our own emotions as well as other emotions. So with compassion, we're going to have to speak with kindness. Apologize when we make mistakes, all right? We're not going to be Fonzie around here, okay? We're going to say we're going to apologize when we make mistakes. But we want, with that compassion, encourage people. And again, expressing the gratitude and appreciation for people. And then we get to the T in respect, which is, I call, tolerance. And that is the ability to bear tension or stress. All right? And it differs between people, everybody. Okay? Some people can be like Atlas and hold the weight of the universe. All right? Nothing's going to bother them. Other people are going to crumble like a cookie. So this possibly is the most relevant quality that needs to be taught in our society, and how we can withstand and overcome the stress and what strategies we can do to cope with it. Stress is a killer, and it leads to addictions, anger, frustration, and sometimes suicidal tendencies. But we all have to be tolerant of other people. We have to show the respect to others and also be an example to them. Again, if you don't succeed, try again. All right? Experience is a teacher, not a Debbie Downer. Respect incorporates many issues. We have to respect others and their opinions, right? And in our society, when we look at that tolerance, we got to come to a level where we can agree to disagree. You know, some parts of the 3D and 4D consciousness are taking up what we call causes. And causes are a great thing to do as long as it doesn't lead to extremism. All right? And a while back, we had seen Japanese or some a Japanese whaling boat being attacked by people with a cause, save the whale, or as Yes would say, don't kill the whale in one of their songs. So we have to look, how can we live in harmony with everybody? By agreeing to disagree. That's the tolerance that we're talking about, but the respect on all levels. And that's what I want to conclude with that. RESPECT, all right? We got to respect ourselves and respect others, and imagine if the world could be a better place. I thank you for listening.